Hello everybody, thanks again, thanks for tuning in to another video. This is Simmons here again with money mentality. This time in this video, to pick up from the how to make more money video, I want to talk about like the 4 principles or the 4 foundational principles to mastery. I talk about it right here in this book, Mad Money, 12 foundational principles to make more money at half the time. Now, the 4 primary principles to mastery. You ready? Alright, here we go. Number 1, the first principle in developing mastery is knowledge. That's right. You have to be knowledgeable in your field. You have to be knowledgeable at what you're doing. It doesn't make any sense for you to try to attempt something and you don't have the knowledge in order to pull it off. So, foundation principle number 1 is knowledge when it comes to mastery. All masters are very knowledgeable in their subject, in their area of expertise, and you should be no different when it comes to developing your area of expertise and developing your mastery. So, like I said, principle number 1 is knowledge. Get knowledgeable in whatever it is that you want to be number 1 in. Number 2 is continual learning. This one is huge. I definitely have a video coming up later about continual learning, or several videos about all of these principles, but definitely continual learning. This one is huge. You have to continually learn about certain things. It is not enough for you to get initial knowledge in your area, in your industry, and you just think that that's going to be sufficient. That's going to carry you for your career. It is not, because I'm telling you right now, there's people in your industry, your competitors, or even your colleagues, or even your teammates. There's people that are learning voraciously. I mean, it is ridiculous on how much these people are learning. That's how high performers stay on top. That's a secret. How do high performers stay on top, or how do masters stay on top? They continually learn. They don't stop. They just keep going. And the same should be for you. You should keep going. You should always be continuing learning. So, principle number 2, and also number 2 when it comes to developing mastery, is continual learning. You want to continue to learn over and over and over and over. I love what Dr. Kimbrough said. Life is lesson. You in college, you in school every day of your life. So every day should be a learning experience. You should be learning something new every single day. Or if you're not learning something new, you should be reinforcing what you already learned so that it stick even more. But that's number 2, is continual learning. You gotta keep learning. I'm telling you, that's how you stay. That's how a lot of people get left behind, because they don't want to continue to learn. They get to a certain place in life and they plateau and they feel like, oh, well, I already learned what I need to learn. Why I gotta keep going? Don't worry. Somebody else gonna keep going. They gonna finish the race. You're gonna be wondering why you lost. So remember, continue learning, keep going. Number 3, which is one of my favorites. This is one of my I love this principle so much. And this is another thing that's practice. Yeah, that's right. Practice. You gotta practice. People don't understand the importance of practice. Just like continual learning, but they want to be masters though. They want to make the most money in whatever industry or whatever they're doing, but they don't want to practice. How can you call yourself a GOAT? Or how can you be the best in your industry, but you don't practice? We are creatures of habit. You have to practice. It's a mandatory. It's a requirement. You gotta practice, but people don't want to practice. They think, oh, I'm above practice. Well, I need to go ahead and practice that. Oh, I think I know everything. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, you probably shouldn't have said that. But you know what? A spade is a spade. That was one of the biggest downfalls of Allen Iverson's career. Don't get it wrong. Allen Iverson had talent. He was one of the best players to play. In my personal opinion, I don't think he's a superstar. I think he's an all-star. Why is that? It's because we all know the fame of practice. You telling me I got to show up to practice? Yeah, you got that right. You do got to show up to practice. You should show up to practice. But people don't want to practice. certain things they feel like are above them. They feel like they don't have to do stuff no more. They don't want to practice. So that's what winds up happening. That's exactly what winds up happening. They don't want to practice. So that's another way to stay on top of your competitors is by practicing. Don't let them stop practicing. You continue to keep practicing. That's how you get great. Kobe Bryant, for example, he talked about this in the Indian video. In the video when he went to China, he was practicing. He does like 3 practice sessions in one day. That was also how Kobe was able to create an advantage. It's because he was able to create. He was practicing 3 times. He was getting up early. He was getting more workouts in. He was doing more. That's how he was able to stay atop for so long. He was out practicing everybody. That was the bottom line. He was out practicing everybody. Then, principle number 4, which is also critical, adaptability. You gotta adapt. We live in this continual changing world that's changed 24/7. Nothing stays the same. So why should you? Why should you? Literally, why should you? But people do the same thing. Just like how they don't want to continually learn. Just like how they don't want to practice. They don't want to adapt to new stuff that's going on. They feel like the sun rises and sets with them. They don't understand the importance of you got to keep this thing going. So you got to adapt. But people don't want to adapt. Life is a roller coaster. You're going to be up some days, you're going to be down some days. You're going to have high highs, you might have low lows. But you got to adapt. Things change. Business change. I mean, for crying out loud, we got cell phones. Like I'm recording this right now, we got cell phones. Everything is pretty much on the internet. You got social media. You got all of these things that are the way we communicate, the way we talk to each other, the way we interact with each other. A lot of this stuff is changing. You have to adapt with the times as well. But people don't want to adapt. And we all know you get left behind when you don't do this. So those are the 4 foundational principles when it comes to mastery. This is something that all masters know how to do. They know how to master the 4 principles of mastery. Number 1, here's the recap. Number 1, knowledge. Get yourself some knowledge. I'm telling you, it's like they say, knowledge is the new money. Knowledge really is the new money. Get yourself some knowledge. You want to get yourself some knowledge. You don't have to go to school. You can do an apprenticeship. I don't care how you get it. You just need to get it. Get you some knowledge. I'm telling you, that really is the new money. Don't get left behind. And the new century, 2020 is right around the corner. Do not get left behind. Get yourself some knowledge. You will thank yourself. Your family will thank yourself, and everybody that you care about will thank yourself. And then the people that you got to provide for, they will thank you as well. Number 2 is continual learning. Don't get comfortable. Don't just learn something initially and just feel like that's going to be sufficient, like you good. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. It's not going to work. So, remember, make sure, you can, make sure you continually learn. Number 3 is practice. You want to make sure you practice. It should be ABP. Always be practicing. That's what you want to do. You want to always be practicing. So, practice. Last but not least, like I said, adaptability. You want to be able to adapt. Especially in this ever-changing, growing world, you have to adapt. It is not enough to just try to stay stagnant. Stuff is changing so fast. So, adapt. And those are the 4 principles for mastery. That's just, that's just what it is. There's no way getting around that. So, remember those 4. I'll do a quick recap again one more time. Get knowledge. Continually learn. Practice daily, preferably. and adapt always. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video provided value for you. I hope you got something out of it. I want you to go out and work on executing these 4 principles so that you can become the master that you desire, so that you can attract the money that you deserve. Simmons out.